Alexa Bliss has long been thought to join the Wyatt Sicks faction, with fans still theorising that Alexa could join upon her return to WWE. And if that was to happen with the return of a potential dark Alexa Bliss character, I wanted to really dive deep into what that could potentially mean for her and for the Wyatt Sicks group. Now, we know all the members of the Wyatt Sicks group were actually teased in one of the very first QR code URLs, and again in the second one, the first one being on top, second being at the bottom, with the first and last names being teased. Now, obviously, Alexa Bliss was included in that, we believe. A and S was at the end. Now, obviously, we've given it our thoughts on what that means. We assume it's 5 now, 1 later, but it could also be 5 versus 1, just to put that out there. Alexa was also referenced in the Diary of Uncle Howdy under the title of She. It reads, "When she speaks, mountains should tremble. It's waiting for her. I can only open the door. She must choose to walk through." Now, we can timestamp this to about January of last year. Uncle Howdy, Alexa Bliss, obviously Uncle Howdy trying to do something. We don't really know what. It never really got explored because Alexa left WWE. But what this paragraph does is obviously give us a nice reference. It tells us that there is something for Alexa Bliss if she chooses to take it. If she walks through that door, then she's part of the Wyatt Sicks, is what I believe it means. There's also been these kind of teases on WWE TV recently, like Alexa's face being on one of the trucks, Chad Gable walking through. I really don't know if this is meant to be a tease or purely a coincidence, but it's worth mentioning. So let's get to the meat and bones of the video. What do I see happening if Alexa Bliss does join the Wyatt Sicks group? And I'm sure someone has said this already, but I'm very surprised it hasn't been made a feature. I'm sure this is like something people have thought about, but it's something I think we really should consider. Every single member of the Wyatt Sicks faction that's been revealed to us so far is a creation from Bray Wyatt's imagination. Literally, the Funhouse puppets were in Bray's head. Now they're here in real life. And even Uncle Howdy got a facelift, and he looks multiple years, decades younger, more menacing than ever before, because these are the creatures of Bray's mind unleashed now. And while a lot of people instantly think, oh, if Alexa returns, therefore she should portray Lily, I legitimately hate the idea. While I certainly didn't mind a lot of the stuff that Lily did on WWE TV, by the end of Lily's proper run, it kind of got a bit weird, didn't it? I mean, having her wink on TV was just a little bit awkward for everyone involved, including the live audience. And I feel like while they can make a more demonic character of Lily, and it would probably look really cool with like the skull teeth and stuff, how do you put that on Alexa Bliss? And I kind of feel like you don't want to. But going back to the idea that the Wyatt Sicks are portraying creations of Bray Wyatt's imagination, there is one more very large, big one from Bray Wyatt's imagination that could also be unleashed, that I think would be perfect for Alexa Bliss to portray. And no, not Friendship Frog. She killed him. But the actual Fiend itself. And I know some people will be sat there saying, but see, you're absolutely nuts. That can't work. This will never happen, blah, blah, blah. What if I told you it actually fits the storyline as well? At one point, we legitimately believed that Bray Wyatt teased a female version of the Fiend. A doll that would haunt the Miz and his child would portray the Fiend, with the pink around the mask and stuff like that. And when Alexa Bliss joined the Firefly Funhouse and joined by the side of Bray, I think a majority of people believed that she was going to eventually portray a female Fiend. Whatever you think about what happened at WrestleMania between Alexa Bliss and the Fiend, the theory, the long-standing theory with this, is that Alexa took the power of the Fiend. So she never gave that back. Mix that with Alexa Bliss being haunted by Uncle Howdy for months, we assumed it was to bring back the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Well, now that obviously can't happen. What if you unleash the Fiend, Alexa Bliss, or the Fiendess? Every time I do a Wyatt Sicks video, every time we do these deep dive theories, and every time I look on social media, I see people wanting to see the Fiend again. And I really don't know how you portray the Fiend, because that was Bray Wyatt. And yes, you can find 1,000,001 reasons why Joe Gacy plays the Fiend, or even Bo Dallas plays the Fiend. But those people already have their own characters to now explore. And I really don't think putting the Fiend on any single person currently in the Wyatt Sicks is the right move to do. I'm sure WWE can make it work. I'm just not sure it's the right thing to do, because then you take away what's special about their already existing character. And then for a lot of people, it would also come down to respect. No matter how you dress it up, if you do the Fiend whoever, people will take this as a sign of disrespect. So that's why I think the only way to portray the Fiend is to have someone portray the character at the same time, making it very different. And while a Fiend-esque character is the same thing, it is different. It's a female playing the role. How does Alexa Bliss do that? What motivations does Alexa Bliss have as the Fiendess? We don't know, and that's never been explored. So therefore, although it's the same principal idea, it's different on so many levels. Something stood out to me recently on the interviews between Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas. This is from the VHS tapes we've seen the last 2 weeks of Raw, and it's what Bo Dallas said to Uncle Howdy. And it's basically Bo saying to Howdy how his dream was to stand alongside his brother. Now that I 100% believe is Taylor talking about working with Wyndham, and that is real life. But what if we add a kayfabe element to it? What if we did say, okay, what does Bo Dallas think about working alongside the Fiend? Well, in kayfabe, we then come back to Uncle Howdy, which is interesting because at the end of the interview, Uncle Howdy was all that remained. Well, Uncle Howdy, we know, was trying to bring out the Fiend from Alexa Bliss. We assume trying to get the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, to come back. So that would have left us with the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, working alongside Uncle Howdy. So in kayfabe, Uncle Howdy may still want that. Uncle Howdy may still want to stand by the Fiendess. That would be an interesting dynamic, because then you could explore like Uncle Howdy and Alexa Bliss basically having like co-leadership of the Wyatt Sicks faction. That would be an interesting idea. It's a way for Alexa Bliss to stand out upon her return to WWE without regressing to a character that served its purpose and had its time and expired. That's why Alexa Bliss evolved in the first place. Gives fans old and new a chance to see the Fiend character once again being explored from the very beginning, with a whole new personality and a whole new person portraying it. A reunion between Nikki and Alexa, I think a lot of people would be clamouring to see that. I think there's a lot that can be explored with those two characters together. At the whole time playing true to the story that Alexa Bliss learned everything she currently knows from Bray Wyatt. Uniting all of Bray Wyatt's imagination creations to one super faction, and I feel like that is the right way to go when you're talking about respect. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you next time.
La 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 la.